What's going on, my fellow gamers? It is 2110 on the Gulf Coast, and we are getting ready for the night shift. Going to kick it off with a little bit of this Windrose fever that everybody has. And of course, I kind of just happened to catch the bug last Wednesday. Oh, let's get all this stuff situated. And once again, I didn't feel like doing any, really didn't need to do any pre-prep stream intro stuff with the usual backdrop pick and all that. Just kind of went off the cuff again tonight. Just because. All right. Let's see. What is going on? Other than being another wonderful Sunday evening. So the upload or the stream that I did a few days ago, back to Warcraft, it was basically my plan for 2026 for the rest of Warcraft, talking about finishing out the actual Lore Master achievement and kind of talking about the progression of where it started, where we are right now, and kind of how I plan on finishing out the rest of the year, working that one out to hopefully get that achievement. I haven't done any streaming since then. And all of a sudden, this game popped up on, excuse me, on YouTube all of a sudden. So I was watching and I thought, oh, let me go ahead and check this bad boy out. This thing is actually pretty cool, this game. This is kind of a cross between, it reminds me of Assassin's Creed Black Flag and a little bit of Fortnite, in a sense of the word. So I thought I'd give it a go on Steam, and actually pretty cool. So I started doing this last Wednesday. Let's see, we're good to go there. Let's get in here. Let's get in here and get after it. So I've had the last 5 days to kind of give this little gem a run through. I finally defeated the first boss yesterday. I was gonna stream record, but I was already having some. I didn't know how long it was going to take me because everybody pretty much went in at like a level 3 to knock this dude out, and it took me like 2 days and about 50 tries to to get it done. Since I'm not that tier level of a player, so just gonna kind of have a little bit of fun going through what the last 5 days have been like playing this game, which has been just absolute. I've been having a ball with this game, and now having the first boss done. It kind of opened up the second half of the game. Now there's a little bit more of the resource efficiency built in. Now there's more expanded options for putting stuff together, and what I've been doing with the resource, and just kind of building my version of how all the gameplay, because there's already 1,001 videos out there about all the big builds everyone's been doing. It kind of reminds me of the housing option in Warcraft 2, where you can build up your housing base and all that stuff and decor and everything else. Similar to what you can do here with the different factions. How I've been kind of collecting resources, because for me, that's always like a fun aspect of games when it comes to.
Every case is unique.
I was just popping up out everywhere, Dr. Galen. Appreciate you, bro. Oh, where to even start? I don't even know. When I finished the boss last night, it took me literally it was an extra, literally about a half hour trying to get that dude, just because of his mechanics and trying to keep up with it and just kind of dodging everything, and finally got it done. Couldn't believe it. I was like, oh wow, I actually got this done. So in between the actual boss and the game itself, right? Because I almost got stuck in that lull where it's like, okay, well, if I can't get the boss, I can't really move forward. But that wasn't the case. I kind of looked at it from a different standpoint. I thought, let me go ahead and get out there and explore. Let's work on, since this is a resource focused game, let's get out there and find resources. Let's figure out where everything is. Let's explore. Let's just have some fun with it, which was actually really awesome. So I was able to do a little bit, as you can see from my little quirky, how I was sailing around, kind of finding where the actual edges are, where it tells you to turn around, and kind of figuring out where that would be from a circumference standpoint. And So if we start with just all these death markers are all over the place, but they're actually not even, most of them aren't even there, especially the ones in the ocean area. Oh, let's see, where to even begin? I just kind of started this with not really much expectation just because I know it was built from the Unreal Engine. And it's amazing what you can do with Unreal Engine without trying to create this ultra high, hyper realistic, I need 250 frames per second to make the game fun or exciting when you can take advantage of what that engine does. And as far as the graphics, the sound, the water physics is absolutely insane. Especially when you're out there and you just kind of hear the rustling of the water, the waves, which is really nice. And I haven't really done much just from a base standpoint. I just kind of got things up and running. It's something I'm going to probably jump into a little bit later. For now, it's just sort of, getting set up, how I want to focus on really driving resources. But from a character standpoint, right now my character is level 8 just after getting past the first boss. So I worked my way up to about 7. I was able to get out there and just do a lot of the other questing, the exploration, just getting XP. Spent a lot of time in the ship, spent a lot of time, around the islands, kind of like you saw before, and worked my way up to level 7. And then once I finished the first boss and whatever, I got up to 8. So in the meantime, I was able to um, really do a decent amount of, what's available in game. And now I'm working on the Needle in a Haystack one. That's the new quest line now. And still, now that I've leveled up and I'm going to be spending more time in the foothills, now I can kind of go back and jump on some of these other quests as I do ship upgrades and kind of like looking into the next phase of the game, which is really neat. I kind of really push the limit on what you can do, where you can go, kind of get away with it at a low level. And going back to the map area, so I was able to do, and since everybody's map is a little bit different, that was where kind of generally figuring out where your one area is and where you hit another coastal line and what that turned into and all that stuff. So not trying to like outthink the game and outsource the game. It's just kind of having fun saying, okay, well, if the game is about exploration, let's go ahead and do that, even though you're going to hit a different area that's got higher level ships in it and just things you have to watch out for. But that's the fun of it. And all the different factions. And what's this one here? Oh yeah, the library thing. All right, so character is level 8. When it comes to the armor, my kind of run, and the way I'm kind of talking about this is people that have already somewhat played the game. This isn't sort of like the ultimate beginner tutorial deal. I thought about doing that, but I wasn't sure where I was going to kind of really, where the game was going to take me when I first started playing. And I thought about doing a first play Friday, but I just wanted to I didn't have the energy for it. So doing the stream and being very interactive and all that. So I just kind of was like, nah, whatever. Let me just start playing it and just really sunk my teeth into it. So the Filler Buster armor is kind of what my go-to's been as far as the pick, just because of the consumption, less stamina for attacks, and of course the increased one-handed damage for my particular weapon system that I use, which is the dueling saber. And then of course I got the Buccaneer's Friend as my rifle platform. This has been pretty neat. The only one that I actually made was the jacket. All the other ones is just I picked up as you were going along, doing the different questing and searching, and being able to kind of pick up what is available in game before really thinking about what do I need to do as far as building armor. Considering that's just one of those, as you play the game, as you explore, not worried so much about trying to build and create. For me, it's just that's the fun part of getting out there and just seeing, trying to solve all these different, quests and puzzles and all that jazz. I already upgraded my pickaxe and the regular axe to the iron level for getting the hardwood and all that stuff. So a lot of the little things that I was able to do yesterday was just little bits and pieces. Now, of course, the game itself is a resource-driven game. That's how you build all the things that you need. That's how you upgrade your armor. That's how you build, whether it's armor, weapons, ships, all that stuff. So of course everything has its own particular type of resources, which is from your basic stuff to, um, you know, so I want to say rare, but so as easy enough as it is to grab a lot of resources, what this game hasn't been for me is a grindy type of game. It's been fairly um, straightforward as far as grabbing stuff or whatever I might need and hang on to. And since you have a way to store everything and kind of label everything, I really had fun doing that, which once I realized the advantage to just as you're playing the game, you're gathering resources. So you don't have to what I don't have to look at is going out and separately thinking, well, now I need more wood, or now I need more rock, or now I need more ore. It's just plenty of everything. For instance, if we're talking the wood stuff, I got basically these three barrels right here are just chock full of it. It's just another situation where I don't have to think about going out and doing it separately because, well, there's tons of it. It's all over the place. Whether you're on the coastline, inland, chopping down trees, when you're doing all your ship stuff and you're grabbing barrels that are in the sea, it's easy enough just to hang on to all this. So during the tenure of the focus and thinking, okay, instead of trying to just level up and hit a boss and then move on to the next one, that's where I just really want to get out and really explore everything, take my time, see what's what, and just grab, what I can. Now that I have access to the hardwood, now the next phase of, okay, now we get to build another ship. Now we get to upgrade a little bit more. Now we get to hit those foothill areas and start working on the other quest line, which now actually makes kind of resource stuff a little bit um, gathering easier. Like when I need hide, because hide seems to be the one thing everybody's kind of running a little low on or doesn't have enough of. And I just happened to, when I started on this particular island, it was actually down here. And so I went around the coastline just kind of looking for a different spot to kind of hunker down where I want to build my actual campsite. So I actually ended up on the north end of the map here, into this little area, which is perfect when I really start working on it. And it happened to be also by one of the ruins. And then, of course, it just happens to have a steady supply of hogs that spawn right there. So that's always like my first go-to is I just whip up a fresh batch of hide. It's got some of the, in that immediate area, it's got some of the cayman peppers. It also has some of those flowers for doing the alchemy. And then I just went around the coastline and highlighted where all the clay spots are. That seems to be another hot commodity. And that's my chest here, is basically just some of the clay that I've got just lying around ready to go. When it came to doing the copper and smelting the ore, that one kind of took care of itself as far as, because I have a mine here, and then I have a couple of my jump points. So I have another jump point here where I can get into a mine, clear that out. It only takes like maybe 10 minutes to clear out an entire mine. And if you clear out the whole thing, that gives you enough just raw ore to smelt into. I can get at least 80 bars out of that. So this particular chest has my copper in it. So I got plenty to go around for when it's time to do some other upgrades. And then I just started to get a little bit of the iron, because I touched on that just a little bit yesterday before I was like, okay, now that we're ready to go and I got that done, I'll just kind of take a fresh perspective, and now I can kind of start in the foothill area. But anyway, when it came to the copper, I found out a smooth rhythm for getting these, getting the bars ready for doing upgrades. Got plenty of that. Could do this and just basically a single day, if that, just a single play session, just knock this out, get one row done, and just, that was easy enough to do. And then some of the leftover, the ash, which naturally is produced when you make your charcoal. So I just hang on to that because that's for the gunpowder aspect of things. And of course, now I'm able to get sulfur, which I have about 4 different spawn deposits on my current island. So I don't even have to go anywhere to get that. So this one right here, this was, that's the same thing. Oh yeah, the plant fiber. Got plenty of that. coming over here. Basically these two, this one is the cooking stuff, and this one is just like recipe, you know, things that you would need for recipes. So different bananas, meats, potatoes, coconut, that kind of thing. All pretty much, if you're just in one spot, it's actually, it's a pretty resource friendly game, if I'm even going to use that term right. But then again too, I like games where you do got to craft and find resources. So automatically I'm trying to figure out how to build the efficiency and cultivate how I'm going to gather and store resources. Storing the resources was a big thing, since that's part of the build option. Is you have not just a storage option, but it's pretty neat how you can not only pick what look you want to have or what you want to use, but then you got the little quirky little labels down here, which was another big help. So I don't have to have like 6 different things and try and remember what everything is off the top of my head. I can just kind of throw a plaque on there, and that helps me just kind of do a quick identifier. I've kept, oh, I did keep that. Okay, I thought I got rid of that. This is the rapier that you get after the first boss, and this is the one where you have the stack up, where you have the bleed damage. And I know there's a couple videos out there. I think Z1 Gaming, he did a couple recent videos, and he's using the rapier with sort of like the stats that focus on the pierce and the bleed. And then of course this was the one that I had originally, was the sturdy rapier. And then I just kind of kept some of the other stuff I got, and then some of the other armor pieces, just to kind of see where those stats kind of fit and where everything fits my gameplay. So where this kind of boils down to again is what fits your particular game style, right? And you've heard me talk about that with other games, especially Warcraft. When it comes to all the different races and classes, what's going to fit your particular play style. When it comes to this one, it's the same thing, right? We're not limited by one particular weapon system or weapon option. It's you have your one-handed, two-handed. Are you doing a blunt, crude? Are you doing pierce? Are you doing a slash? And then you have your different rifle platforms and pistol platforms, right? So you've got the reliable musket, which is basically a 600 pierce alpha option for precision. The Buccaneer's Friend is a 585 pierce Bravo for precision, but I like this one a little bit better. Just for some odd reason, I just feel like it gives me a little bit more consistency than the other one does. Plus, I just like the name of it, so that's just me. Even though the other one does a smidgen more, that little extra smidgen from 585 to 600 really doesn't make or break which one I'm going to use. Even though we could sit there and go back and forth on, you know, particular stats. But weapons are all maxed out to level 5, which is where you could take yours up to that the first boss level. Basically, everything was level 5. And again, easy enough to do when it came to you know, resources and getting your table set up. So if I want to do a particular upgrade, you know, it tells you what you want to do. And of course, now I'm going to be focusing on the next phase of weapon upgrade, armor upgrade, and then of course the big one is the ship. And what I've been doing is kind of saving all of my pieces of 8. So I've got 4,307 right now. So I haven't really been burning through the silver coins. I bought one pattern, and that was the filibuster jacket, and that was really it. Other than that, I've been saving the coin. I think I bought a couple. I don't even remember what they were at this point. But then the gold coin, the guinea, for buying some of the mats for doing the design stuff. And I have been turning in the insignias when I do get them. Pretty much all 4 factions right now, I'm at least a level 2, because I just want to kind of see option wise. And going from level 2 to level 3 is another 300. So right now it's a toss up between, where do I want to upgrade first? Right? Do I want to upgrade weaponry, armor, or do I want to now focus on getting a bigger ship, right? The Brig Ship Recipe is 1,000. So that's easy enough to do, right? And then from there, it's picking the ship design that I want from that one. And then, okay, do I want to go with the regular? Do I want to go with the Blackbeard to kind of go with the 24-pound guns that I can put in, but even though I'm taking a little bit less health, all right? So now I'm kind of excited because there's more optionality with that going into this next phase. So there's actually like, there's an expanded way of looking at, okay, how do I want to do this stuff? When it came to the raw hides, this is more ingredients that I grabbed from Foothills and just kind of dumped that in its own barrel for the time being. And then hides, I got plenty of that. So, and that's just basically the little group. When I want to start collecting right off the bat, I can usually grab about 10 hides first thing before any respawns or before I go anywhere else. So hides are easy, really easy enough to come by. And then of course the animal fat, which I've just been kind of storing because I know that comes in handy later. Nighttime is kind of neat because that's when all the creepy crawlies come out, and then I can get stuff I need for building resources for potions, which is this one right here. So the Misty Orchids, which seem to be in little spurts kind of all over the place, but it adds up when you're out exploring, right? And then of course, specifically the essence, which drops from those lobsters or the zombies that are running around. So now, now that I'm, you know, a high enough level, I can go to just do a once around the coast on my island, hop to another one and do another run around the coast, and then just dump it all in here, and we're good to go. The pearls are pretty neat because, I'm sure everybody knows this by now, you can actually use these as ammo for your rifle, which is kind of neat. And so even though I've unlocked a few, I got a little bit of the building stuff just from a lot of the other recipes that are around. So doors and walls, pillars and beams, got a few extra ones. Windows and doors. I think stairs and fences got up. And the decoration was the one that's really kind of really added more to the game with some of the recipes. Like now that I've got the iron stuff you can get, and I got some of the meal decorations you can put in, supply decorations you can put in. And a lot of the stuff I haven't really gotten crazy with yet. The closest, the only thing I've really done is a couple of the decorations on the outside here. Just got the shell, got the sword thing, and then I got one of the boar's head, and then I got a shell thing up there. And then this hut has my alchemy table. And then I just made this little quick makeshift bee hut for doing the ship upgrades. I finally got to put in my spinning wheel yesterday and put the millstone in. Okay, now I've got the tan leather. So now I know that I need bark from the hardwood to get that resource to use for making, to combine that with the, so I got plenty of rough hide, which I'm still going to be collecting as I kind of go along. But now with the upgrade, I need the bark to make the tannin, which is what's used to make the tan leather for doing all the upgrade stuff, etc., etc. Spinning wheel. Oh, that's right. I need to might as well get that going. Another ship supplies, just collecting stuff as you're out. One of the factions, you can sell the combat repair kits. So I actually had about 3 more stacks of 10, but I ended up selling those. And a stack of 10 goes for 100 silver. So I just kind of sold a bunch of those off the cuff because I just had a lot of them. And when you're out and about doing enough, especially when you're doing just the ship stuff without even focusing on going to the islands, there's a lot of stuff you can collect if you're just floating around, taking on some ships, doing some boarding, getting the supplies, and then hitting all your different barrels that are floating out there for resources. It's easy enough just to have a little bit of fun. And of course, the real fun part of the ship was what I named it. I think you won't be able to see from, because it's nighttime now, but what's neat is you can actually I can't really see it. But I named my ship the Gabagool. I couldn't help it, man. I was like, you know what? What am I gonna name? I thought, you know what, Gabagool. That'd be awesome. Why not? When I get the next ship, I already know what I'm gonna name that one. But and it's kind of neat that it says it on the back of the placard there too. So because you think about the big ships of its day, the HMS Victory, right? The Black Pearl, and then you've got the Gabagool. It'd be funny if the developers actually catch wind of that and actually create a recipe that's Gabagool. That would be absolutely hilarious. Got my wharf up there, my fast track bell, and then I put a couple little quirky decorations right here just to have a little something. Built the deck out. So yeah, right now it is what is next on the agenda. Now the reason why I went with the saber is because I wanted to, I'm looking at the aspect of what I can do from a slashing versus the piercing standpoint. So I can go through the entire sequence, or basically his attack melee sequence, without burning all of my stamina, which is kind of nice. And when it comes to the lower level, you know, sows and the boars now, get everybody in one shot and just move on to the next one. That's all there really is to it. Now I realize a lot of people have been using the two-handed stuff, and which works out well. I just found that really helps when it comes to your area of effect when you got multiples that you're dealing with versus one-on-one, right? It's like same thing with Warcraft, right? You're building your PvP loadout to handle. Am I doing an area of effect, or am I going after one single whatever? And even then, if I get multiples in when I'm doing my melee sequence, it actually racks up the points quick. Forgot to see what the volume was for the... I could probably turn the... What did I have the audio at? I know I turned it down a little bit, but... Let me turn that back down again. So everything is rocking and rolling, then it picks up steam. Yeah, that'll work. They'll try and do the voice overlay while there's a bunch of other stuff going on. I'm not going to do any copper ore mining. I don't need to do that at this point, so it's not anything I'm too particularly worried about. So just that little, little runkus, just knocked out 7 high just to add to the collection. And there's more on this island. I mean, it's just one of those things where I got one little spot I can hit right out the gate. I think that sulfur deposit was around here. That one, that's the stone one. I wonder if that's a random spawn. The old dodo. Oh yeah, and if I need some more of the essence because I want to build my supply for the alchemy, and then I don't have to travel all the way across, Timbuktu land and go after bigger targets. I can just come down here and get what I need. There we go. Let's get this guy here, and then that'll... Nah, caught me slipping. There we go. All right. Wood everywhere. shipwreck stuff for nails. So I got enough nails for doing at least that upgrade. So I'll tell you what, we'll grab some coin. We'll hop on over to who's got the bread? It's either the Buccaneers or the Smugglers, I think. I forgot which one has the recipe for the new ship. Let's dump all this first here. See, you got a couple meats that, and then we'll start another storage bin for leather and or like the upgraded stuff. Oh, that's right. I need to start another one. I got tons of crab meat. Those things are all over the place. It's easy enough to garner that one. Actually, while I'm at it too, take all this stuff with me. Yep, we want that because we're going to need that to make a purchase. Wait, nope. That in there. One of the really cool things about this game is I started treating it a little bit like Fortnite, which I played about a year ago, just the Battle Royale stuff. I was not one of those people that really caught on to the building aspect of that. I have to say I am really impressed with individuals that got so locked into that game that they're building like multi-duplex, high rises while I'm trying to figure out how to put down like one platform. It's absolutely crazy. But I take resources with me, so I'll take like a thing of wood, rock, and then some of the fiber. And when I was out of the foothills, I just build myself a fighting position, and then from there just take on who I need to and use the barrier and the buffer to my advantage, so I don't have to try and take on everybody one at a time. When everybody starts to aggro, I can just it was actually pretty neat what I was able to do. So I go into, let's say now, and I think some of the structures I've got set up are still there, but it was just neat, just being able to build stuff to block enemies in, so I can like section off a whole area if I want to go mining, and I don't have to worry about aggroing zombies or aggroing the goats or anything like that. I can just keep them completely separated, go about my business, and then when I'm done, just do what I got to do. All right, now, oops, that's not what I want to do. I need to go down to the. All right, so it's going to be a toss-up between wanting to do, and this is when I get the brig, right? Because yes, there's more health involved, but I also want to see about doing the 24 pounders, which means, and I think the Blackbeard version of the brig is 50,000, which is what the stock catch is right now. And to kind of make up the difference, what I do is so your ships have the hull bracing. So I was going to get the hull bracing recipe that allows you to, it kind of creates that buffer when you're getting hit, and it slows down the percentage of the energy that's taken off, or the health that's taken off your ship. And then of course upgrading the cannons to 24 pounders, kind of balance between having a little bit more firepower with the brig, even though I'm still at sitting about 50,000 health. And then of course upgrading my boarding party gear. Got to keep the troops supplied. Keep them loaded and lethal. Okay, now let's go ahead. All right, let's do some shopping. We've been saving money. We've been saving and resourcing, and just kind of completing all this other the basic stuff upon discovery, which is neat. I've got another fast track bell right by one of the other mines, so I can just get there, go in and mine if I need to. now that I don't really have to stay copper focused heavy, I'll probably just dismantle one and use that for somewhere other in the foothills that I might want to use. And when I needed gunpowder, what I would do is go to some of the areas that have them, so I could actually go here, clear out the camp again, and see this one, and I think this one too. I was able to do that. And then also, and this is before you're able to make it, because you still can't produce gunpowder until you beat the first boss, and then you get access to all the extra stuff where you can finally make it. So it's pretty much where do you gather that? And of course, the other spot was what's his name's camp, as you can see from the 1,001 death markers here. But wasn't worried about the mine, but the camp right here is a good resource, and you can go right to the adjacent camp there and get some. I forgot if any of these, yeah. So that was just a way of, I just needed gunpowder, just clear out that real quick, and then you're good to go. And I don't really use my rifle that much, but I'm probably incorporating that here a little bit more. And the discovery stuff is pretty neat. So, and going to some of the fortresses is nice, because, or even some of the ruins, because some of the parts that are closed off, I'll actually build a ramp, get inside and get what I need, and then build a ramp and get right back out again. So I don't have to fight my way in and fight my way out. I can just get in there and get what I need and get back out. Or yesterday, what I did, this is when I wish I had recorded. I went into one of the main campsites where there was like 7 NPCs. I had enough stone with me, so I built a double brick wall, got all the resources that I needed, and then I had my little potion to just kind of zap me back to my respawn center, since I couldn't get out, because I actually trapped myself in. But I just used that as my escape area, which was pretty neat. So this game, you can get pretty inventive. You can get it's another aspect of, you can get creative with what the game allows you to do, and you're not really restricted by the parameters of the game, if that makes sense. That's just about the only way I know how to describe it.
Don't ask unnecessary questions.
I won't.
You know, the longer you live.
Touché.
Handle with care.
Okay, so this was the, so this guy had the hull bracing recipe, and yeah, okay. I haven't really figured out which one I want to use yet, because here are the options, right? So you've got, all right, this one is taking damage no longer affects the duration of repair kits, and that really hasn't been too much of an issue, even when I've been in some rather interesting tussles. That part I don't worry about, and there's plenty of repair kits that are available. That's not something that anybody should be running out of, because even if you're just floating around grabbing up resource barrels that are floating around, you got the white, the blue, and the legendary ones with an actual ship. There is so many of those things floating around, it's crazy. And then of course, if you're just going after some of the lower level ships, you can stock up on repair kits and then get extra and just sell those off. All right, so the Iron Resolve is as ship health drops, damage resistance increases, reaching up to 25% at 30% ship health. This is the one I was thinking of getting with doing a Blackbeard brig ship. So because of I'm taking on higher tier there are higher tier ships, but obviously I've got lower health. Instead of having 90,000 health, I've only got 50,000. And then the Standfast, I don't know, grants 5 stacks of Standfast effect over time. Taking damage consumes 1 stack and reduces incoming damage by 25% for 3 seconds. I don't know. I can see if you're taking on more than one vessel, I get it. But if you're doing a 1-on-1 or even a 2-on-1, that's not really, I don't know. I don't see where that would really fit my play style. You can hit 1-on-1's easy enough to maneuver. 2-on-1, because everybody has to try and do the counter turn to try and do a broadside on you. Right? At 3, it can get a little spicy, especially if you get some of the smaller ones and they can just spin around and hit you with their front cannons. That's where it can get a little irritating. But if you're getting, I can see where if you're trying to take on 4, this might be okay. I get it, but this is where I think the Iron Resolve might be my go-to. First, I want to check that recipe out, because I know I still don't have enough resources. I need timber, which I need to start collecting more hardwood to do that. But I figure now that I've got the
Quiet profit.
I knew these weren't going to be that much, but let's just pretend we're just kind of emptying out what we need. What am I trying to say? Oh, since I've hit that sort of phase of the game now, there's an opportunity to say, okay, I'll just go ahead and get the recipe, kind of figure out what I want, what resources do I need, and then I can focus attention to doing that. I actually haven't played any Warcraft all week because of this game. I haven't. This is actually the first week since the Midnight expansion came out. I haven't played any Warcraft at all. This game has actually soaked up all of my attention, which is pretty neat. Even though I'm still getting geared up for Forza 6 coming out in a couple weeks. The Buccaneer. I could have gone to Tortuga, but sometimes I like to go straight to the source. This is the guy that I can sell my... There we go. Alright, provisions. It is indeed, good sir. Alright. I originally thought about upgrading my other ship, which I could have done with the other 12-pounders. But that's where I didn't get too crazy with it. I was actually sitting pretty good. I was taking on the level 5 ships, even 3 level 5s at a time. Not that big of a deal if you kind of know how you want to get in your, approach your engagement. Well, who's got the... I think it's the Brotherhood that's got that. I don't even remember at this point. But definitely want to get the 24-pounders. Now, leveling up won't be an issue. I just need 300 reputation points, and I have plenty of insignias, so I can get that up. And then it's kind of deciding what 24-pounders do I want to roll with. All right, let's find that recipe.
The pirates will get what's in this.
Where in the world?
Be careful up there. The sea's rough these days. We don't waste a crate.
Oh, that's the provisions that they do. Plenty of those floating around too. Oh, he's upstairs.
Everything's lost. My whole life is left on. There's old stock, still sharp.
Did I bump my head earlier today? And I just don't remember what day of the week it is. What is going on? Who's the noob? I thought it was only the 2 that I originally... Or am I just not paying close attention to what I was already looking at? I don't even know.
I've got the Brethren's finest
equipment. There we go.
Just for you, pal.
Sheesh. The frigate. Oh, the cool thing is when it's time to get the frigate, that'll be easy enough to do. But anyway, all right, so let's get this. Whew. That's a big spend. And again, nothing about getting any of the resources felt like a separate grind. It felt very organic because that's just the game itself.
You're a friend of the Brethren. We share the same course.
let's get back down here. Curios. And all right. All right, what do we got? All right, so we have 180. Oh, I was making more storage stuff. That's why I'm like, I had over 200. Okay. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. Okay, so resource-wise, it's all okay. So I need, that's easy enough to get. Rope, all that's easy enough to do. All right, so the timber is going to be the single biggest thing, because I need hardwood to then turn into timber. And everything else as is. And I'll be out. I might as well grab. I'll be able to get some more nails from all the shipwreck stuff, salvaging that. Course fabric's easy enough to do. That's ridiculously easy to do. The rope's easy. I've got plenty of everything to make that happen. So, all right, we'll be able to get this up and running once we spend a little bit more time in the foothills, specifically with the hardwood. Yeah, because so here we go. So the Brethren one, 90,000, and you got your 12-pounder. So that's a nice little jump, from 50 to 90,000. When you think about the scope of how you're going to have to upgrade your cannons, your hull rig, and then of course your resources for your crew, and how high I can get them leveled up. But I really do want to put the 24-pounders on there, just kind of see, because you're getting that extra 500 hit point per cannon. And to me, that kind of makes up, where the amount of health is from the baseline, one right now. Already knowing where I can take on level 5s and where I'm sitting wise, from the hit points to how fast it drops to buffs. Can you think without looking at this stuff? Because right now these don't have any buffs to them at all. It's just the standard whatever up to level 5, right? So the cannon is just standard up to level 5, and it's just boarding party gear standard up to level 5. So there's no extra anything. Versus now grabbing a specific hull bracing recipe, a specific 24-pounder recipe, and a just upgrading the boarding party. Another reason why I'm glad I didn't just burn through a lot of the silver, just getting whatever. Saying just play the game, rack and stack and save everything, and then the rest will take care of itself. I can sell those off. Let's see here. Oh, that's right. Put those there, and then we'll swing this bad boy around and keep that with the other leather. Just kind of keep it all conducive. You know what we need, man? Some rope. I can't help but think of Boondock Saints every time I see some rope. Name one thing you're gonna need the stupid rope for. Yeah. The Gabagool. Alright, what do I want to do? What do we want to do? So excited. It's like a whole new game. Alright, we need hardwood. Okay, so I need to come over here again. Timber. Hardwood. It takes 3 hardwood for a single timber. So I need 120 just to rack up enough timber for the ship build. Touche. Do some mining. Now, thankfully, I already have a couple fast travel things up here. I did this bad boy yesterday, which is pretty neat. This is when I actually built a double stack wall and went in there and got over to the other one. This is where I kind of called it a day. I was able to map out one of the clay spots just because I was curious to see where it was. Definitely got an iron mine. And I think I got one down. I think there's one here. I got a fast travel spot here when I was first looking at an area. Well, that reminds me, I can do farming now too. Forgot about that. Another iron mine. I'll put the travel marker right by the iron mine, and still have I got something in there to barricade off unsuspecting troublemakers. So farming now is pretty neat. I did grab up some soil, so I got a little bit of that, so I can actually kind of create a. This game is so neat because there's a whole batch of other things to kind of focus attention to now. And good because I've been saving my seeds too. I thought, hang on to those because I know I'm going to need them for later. So I've got plenty of different kind of seeds to do whatever I want to do. So I've got a little bit of aloe, banana, shrub, corn, sweet potato, cayenne pepper. Let's see, the coffee beans you get from doing other ship stuff, so that's why I never even had to buy anything. All this is just from being out doing stuff in the ship. The sugarcane, found in ancient ruins, forgot which ones though. It was just one of those. Okay, it's available, I'm going to grab it. I'm good to go. And of course, the cornmeal is what we make here. Definitely be planting corn. And this is why I haven't purchased any of the market or the merchant people from the different factions, because just been able to grab plenty of whatever I need. All right, let's get some food. What do we want? What do we want? Let's get some more crab on the... Oh yeah, new recipes now, which is pretty neat. Is that the red or the white? Oh, I can never remember that. White? Yes. Some of you are like, what's wrong with that guy? Just Google it. You'll figure it out. Just Google it. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Now I can do fishing now. There we go. No, that's not what I wanted. What was that one? Coconut soup. You know what? Let's swap that out for the other stuff because I'm not doing any crazy whatever. Let's throw some coconut milk with bananas in there, a little bit of endurance. And let's top off healing potions and then we'll be good. I know you can use the bandages, and I was using that during the first boss fight. I actually don't mind. I kind of like just being able to knock out just a quick healing potion to get myself back up and running. And my build, if you want to call it that, is nothing too extraordinary. So I kind of redid everything because this is what was neat about the game is you can reset all your points based on what you want to do again. So you're not locked in. You don't have to reset by burning resources. You can just reset how you want to focus your character and abilities. Kind of on the whim, based on your armor, based on your weapon system, your choice of weapon system, which I thought was neat. So for the end boss fight, I bumped up my health quite a bit. I focused more on that, agility, a little bit of mastery and precision, only because mastery just for a little bit of crit, but because of weapon upgrade and armor, I do get plenty of automatic crit, which really kind of rolls in. That kind of takes care of itself, so I don't have to spend too much time with that. The agility, just because it does help, because I am specifically using a saber. And then the endurance, because of the stamina burn. But then again, too, with the filibuster, that's also where it saves me an extra 20% on my attack. So as you saw my little meter, I can go through an entire melee, and it doesn't burn all of my stamina. So even if I have to do a block, I've still got a little bit left. plus it charges up fast enough. And then my talent points, same thing. You can reset these on a whim. So I had this all looking a little bit differently for that first boss fight. But now I'm kind of back to, I got my slash damage by an extra 9%, which of course is on top of the saber upgrade plus the armor. Agility, I've got it set to where, okay, so now I'm doing dash and jump, consumes 27% less. And then I've got my surgical cut, so it increases critical chance with one-handed melee weapon by 3%. So specifically focusing on one-handed. And this is where, you know, it all adds up. And I do get a good, decent amount of crit coming in. Yeah, this one, I'm kind of running around between this one and that temporal health thing. So this just makes healing, whether it's your bandages or your potions, just a little bit more, it just builds the efficiency. And for me, for my health build, that actually works out pretty good. So the potion runs 50%, so I can get about 55 out of that. So I know I can go over less than halfway before I even have to pop a bottle to even get myself back at full strength. The temporal health is one of those where if you're engaging, part of your damage comes back to you as health. And I try that. I don't know. I think that comes in great if you're using. Let's say we go back to the rapier, or rapier, with the bleed option, right? So if you have 3 or 4 NPCs and they're all taking bleed damage and you're getting that health back, I can see where that might help you out a little bit. But I'm a saber guy. What can I say? And then when I had another build, I was using these up here. So I had like an extra 4% on that. And then I think I had this one selected too. So, but again, it's nice because you can just come down here. We can't see because my frame's in the way, but there's the reset. The reset thing is right here in the right-hand corner. So you can just reset everything and just do all this on the fly, which I think is really neat that the developers put this in game. So we're, okay, let's say, for instance, right, I wanted to go and I wanted to knock out a two-handed weapon, but I still want to use the slash option. Well, not only do I get the buff with the particular greatsword, but I can go back and redo everything to focus on two-handed weapon system and not just a single-handed. And then I've got my this other greatsword. I've got the halberd, and these things are legit. If you're the type of individual that likes to do two-handed, sort of, it's the crude, so it's kind of like this more of the swinging action, which I get. Just I need a little bit more speed because I can concentrate on not just a one-on-one, but 2 or 3, and I can kind of focus my attention where I need to with the speed that I want to use it with. And then yeah, just kind of hanging on to some of the other armor pieces because I haven't figured out if I really want to do any other combos yet. But I've got the option. Oh, in case you need some rocks, I got plenty of those too. And a lot of this I was stacking up because as you start to, if I want to do more build outs, that's where it's going to be a little bit more resource intensive. So I did want to have stuff ready to go for starting to do builds. That was the ship one. That was the copper. Yeah, it kind of covers. And then all the bottles that I get when I'm out and about, I just stick in this one right here. So I've got plenty of bottles for doing alchemy stuff and for doing other potion build outs. So easy enough there. Oh, you know what I want to do? New rule for myself is I take, the homeward, yeah, this is what it's called. Take one of these with me. So this way, if for some reason if I barricade myself in somewhere, I don't have to try and like fight my way out and fight my way back to my fast travel point. I can just use the potion. I forgot where I stuck that because I think I have some already made. There it is. All right, let's... Don't think I'll need the shovel. Put that in here, and we'll put this guy up here. So let's say I go down. I'm gonna have to come back, and I don't think the shovel stays in there. I don't remember, but at least I'll have the potion still up there as well in case I get myself really, really stuck. But it's another way of just getting creative with the game and using in-game parameters to do stuff. And I gotta admit, the environment and the scenery is really off the chain. Absolutely insane. The sound effects, so powerful. Okay, I don't need to use my ship. We're not taking out the Gabagool. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's... Thought about moving. Problem with this is a lot of it is rocky area where you can't get access on the coastline. So this is where I was able to find an open spot. And oddly enough, it's really not... Everything looks far, but it's really not. That's the other somewhat psychological piece to it. But let's get over there, man. Let's get this going. I need more resources so I can start upgrading. Oh, look. All right, let's top up here. The only things I really have to watch out for now that I'm in the footlands is the wolves and the alpha wolves. The goats I can do one-on-one. All right. Actually, I need to remind myself not to get too crazy because we need to get that ore. We're not finding the hardwood. I need to mark a hardwood drop too, just so I can remind myself where to actually get that stuff. Oh, here we go. I got plenty of those. Easy enough to get distracted with the good stuff. Let's see if my build out's still over here. Oops. I knew it. Darn it. I still have that. When I was streaming last week, Warcraft, and I was talking about the plan for the rest of this year. I only did about an hour and change, and I never even bothered to put that over on YouTube. So I need to... Oops, wasn't even paying any attention. Paying no attention to what's going on. But it's nice because I can get a good run out of my stamina. So if I have to outrun stuff, that's not too taxing. You know what? Maybe I will move my fast track thing over. I gotta see where... Tomatoes over there, saw that. I need to check over here on the coastline, see if there's an access point. Yes, there is. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely move. I'll move my thing over. Oh, there we go. Like I knew it was around here somewhere. Ah, there it is. So I put this up yesterday because there were a couple of these things down here, and they were getting a little crazy. So I put the stone wall here, so now I can kind of do my thing. Nothing comes down this particular pathway that we're looking at right now, but these dudes definitely aggroed and started to come up. And I thought, you know what? I don't really feel like getting bothered at all. So I'm going to clear this out, clear this inside out, and then we'll head on back. And then we'll go look for some hardwood. Get that too. And once something comes out of reach, this is where we get a little creative and have some fun. And should have grabbed some stuff with me, but I didn't. And you don't need to bring like anything like heavy resource stuff, just enough to just build whatever you need, a little makeshift something. Get up access to where you need to and get the job done. Oh, there we go. They aggroed up. Sorry guys, can't get to me. My humblest and most deepest apologies. And then when you're done, you can actually like you can break it all down, you get the resources back. I'm like, dude, that's too crazy. I love it. Let's put a little flame in here. Get some illumination going. Oh, I didn't bring any wood with me. Alright, you know what? Let's do this. Illuminate. And the other interesting thing about doing this is a lot of times they may try and psych you out a little bit. So they'll put like weak rock in front of you and you're thinking, okay, maybe I don't want to waste my time with that. But then you bust through that and then there's like this huge vein of either like a good copper vein or the iron on top of that. So my suggestion is if you decide to go do some mining, just go in with the intention of clearing the entire thing out, because you will be amazed at how much is actually tucked in there with the different sections that are available. All right, let's build us a little platform. It's amazing how my brain just doesn't register what I need right away. And typically, all I do is bring some of the plant fiber because you can build everything you need using that. It even blocks the light. That is so ridiculously awesome how that works. The physics is amazing in this game. All right. Now, you might be thinking, bruh, why don't you just leave all that there for the next time you come in and you don't have to keep rebuilding when you come back down. And you know what? Originally, I thought that myself. So that's not even a wrong thing to go through the old brain. However, what it will do is disrupt how all this stuff respawns in the next time you go in. So it's better to go in with everything clean. That way everything kind of respawns fresh. So you don't limit yourself based on what the game physics may or may not do. Look at that. Cleaning house. That is just too cool, man. Oh my goodness. Now, some of the other caves, like the copper ones, have multiple sections. So what I'll do is I'll actually use one of the floor torches here to kind of when I'm done with the sequence, I'll put one right sort of in the entrance of it, so I don't get myself mixed up when I'm coming back down. It's actually good to marker or use as a marker, similar to all the CQB bunnies out there that use glow sticks for some odd reason, as if those things. As a reminder for all of you that do that, glow sticks don't pull security, so just keep that in mind when you're popping glow sticks in like 50 rooms or whatever. Just a little FYI. Where was I? Oh yeah. So I could go down here because there's more down here, but then I got to contend with these two guys. Or what I could do is just let them come up to the wall, and I can get them through the wall. But that just takes more time, and this and that and the other, and that's not. I'm not really worried about it too much. So this is how I was able to pull just out of that one little bunch. Now, if I went down, I could probably fill up this bottom row, and that's fine. Because I do want to go back and kind of do some other stuff. But in a sense, so mining in itself is not very intensive, right? And you can kind of create your version of how you want to do that when you kind of realize what's available, where's a good spot. I don't feel like dealing with NPCs at all. I mean, I'm not feeling I'm going to take on all the NPCs today. That's not really what my focus is. So I can just stand here and do what I need to do and not have to worry about trying to deal with that separately, then go back and do what I want. I could probably drop myself down here, build another. I could probably block these guys in. Actually, I might do that. There we go. Whoa. Uh-oh. Sort of worked. I should have gone a little bit higher. Oh, I'm out of stone. That's the problem. See, now I'm all stuck. I don't even know how I got that other camera angle, so I didn't want that. How did I do that? Because I never was able to do that without using a... oh, it was the Y button. So, note to self, make sure you have enough resources to do what you want. How did I not have enough? How did I not have enough stone? Usually you don't get a lot of ore when you're at the poor veins. But anyway, so now that was just a demonstration of a good idea that went horribly wrong because I didn't have enough resources, didn't pay attention, got stuck, ended up having to deal with these two anyway. Didn't even want to get caught doing that. So, but that does not make the game any less fun because it was my mistake. And that's why I always bring a bunch of stuff with me, like, oh, hey, look what we got here. do want to try that again because I want to see if I can actually pull it off. Those guys are down there now. Because if I can just trap those dudes on this right here, I know that I can bypass them every single time. And I just didn't even think of that last night because after fighting that boss, that was nuts. There, I think that should work. Inventory is full. Let's see how much is actually down here so I can start. I can dump stuff. I don't need half of any of the stuff that I really have in here. Alright, that wasn't even that big of a vein to begin with, but let's see here. What don't I need, which is really any of this stuff? I can just go around, grab up the ore. All right. Oof. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go check out the other spot over here and we'll see. Oh, snap. There's two up there and then there's the one down here. I can deal with one. One's okay. I just want to see if my idea would work. Except you're thinking, dude, you just trapped yourself down there now. And you're absolutely right. I did. Which is why, for future reference, the goal will be to grab whatever I want first, then I'll do some mining. It's not bad for not even really clearing out that whole thing. Yeah, we'll just do that. So that's 90 bars right there. That's just another... Okay, that's not bad. All right, let's head back over there and let's get some hardwood. Before we do that, let's drop off what we got. We're going to reset, make sure we got plenty of what we want.
Remarkable times we live
Sometimes I forget where even I put everything. Alright, we don't need the rope. I already know that. We'll put that with ship supply. We won't need the shovel. So we'll grab a fresh thing of rock. Actually, yeah, let's just make it a smooth 40, just to call it a day. And let's grab a fresh thing of lumber. All right. Still brainstorming how to really do all this, like, you know, not that cool, trying to get so fancy with it, but it's little ideas like that. Like maybe somebody will see it and they'll say, wow, this guy is a noob. That's clear and, you know, easy enough to discern. But it also gives everybody an idea like, okay, maybe I can get a little bit more creative. And when you build something on basically the way that the map's built for you, it stays there, right? It does what you create or what you dig or what you do, whatever. Clearly, it stays in game. So you can create these things for yourself, and they'll be there next time. Like whatever fighting position I made at that one ruin area, it's still there, which is kind of neat. So. All right, let's get back up here. Gotta track down more of this hardwood. And I know typically it's at some of the ruins, but it's also there's a spot up here around. I think it's this side or this side, and that's where I'm gonna probably get the ship up here, get around this other coast. I need to get around this coast area and find a spot so I can be closer to a place that I was already at, and really the mine, so I have to like truck all the way across the map. Because right now, even though my character is a high level, and this is the deficit that I'm running into. So my character is a higher level for the area, but my armor is still for like back here on the coast. So this is where I have to start. You know, this is where I want to get a little bit more resource savvy. And I will break this down. Might as well start getting some nails while we're at it. And I'll get rid of the excess wood when it comes down to it. Have this thing ready to go. All right, so, oh, for crying out loud, man. So the divvy tree is the one that's specifically the hardwood. And, oh, here we go. Oh, that's why I kept avoiding it. It's that campsite with the wolves. Walked right into that one. There was a spot where I could... There was a camp spot. It had NPCs, but they completely paid absolutely no attention to me for whatever reason, so... And I cannot wait to level up the armor. Be able to get up here and just get a little bit more comfortable getting after it with everybody. Since I'm here... Let's see if we can get a little sneaky. Let's get a little crazy. Let's have some fun. Whoa, what was that? Go away. Leave me alone, man. Why are there so many of these things around here? Good grief. Alright, I don't want to... Are you kidding me? Go away, dude. Okay, where is it? Where is everything?
Take aim.
Man. I didn't realize they had a double shot. Was not expecting that. Should have gone more around the 6 on that one. Let's try that again. From what I heard, you can do this game on a controller. I haven't gotten my scuff controller out to try and do anything. This one I actually feel a little more. For instance, the big one was like Star Citizen. You know, using a controller for that game with all the complexity and buttons, especially when it comes to ship operations. I did a video where, you know, using a scuff on Star Citizen, but this one, I don't know. I'm just kind of comfortable with keyboard and mouse, I guess. I'm sure I will break out the scuff and give it a go around, just kind of see what's what. I played Arc Raider with my scuff. I even I gave that one a go around. Actually works out really well because everything actually automatically labels its. What the heck is going on here? I guess there was a dual combat by trial by combat. Okay, let's. I wasn't expecting all of them to be out there. All right, we can kind of rethink the game plan here a little bit.
Mark the target.
That actually scared me. Not gonna lie. Ooh, that made me jump. What's nice sometimes is when the animals get too close, and then all of a sudden the NPCs start going at it with each other. Sometimes you can collect a bunch of good stuff.
You're in my sights. Hold still.
There we go. Okay. Sheesh. Where is it? These guys are a little bit more intuitive than the last bunch. That's what's kind of throwing me off here. Was not expecting that. The other bunch, maybe I made myself a little bit too far near their entrance. And there's two of them. Two entrances, actually. will shiver my timbers. Still want to give this a go. Let's see here. Now what I'm looking for specifically is the chest that I need to raid. Which I think that's right over, that's underneath that tent. Because if I can get in there, I can create another barricade for myself and they can't get to me and I don't have to worry about it. And if I can just block... And of course you're thinking, dude, just go in there and schwack everybody and call it a day. Well, not that high enough yet, and less resources I have to use in time, and sometimes it's easier when you have a game plan just to be able to go in and kind of figure out how do I want to tackle building a nice little barricade and a makeshift fighting position or barricade for myself. Like if I need to get around that tent, I can just put up a brick wall right there. Or I can do a makeshift where I can use the smaller one. So you can use... so using the smaller ones here... So what I can do is create a window for myself so that when they close in on me, they can't get to me, but I can still get to them. And it's just kind of takes care of itself.
On my mark.
There's only one guy there. I can deal with that. That's easy enough to...
Come here.
Let's go high speed. Yep, there it is. Crying out loud. Thinking something's going to run up behind me. All right, so this is what I mean by creating a nice little makeshift fighting position for yourself. So what I can do, since I have a little bit of an open window for myself, is now I can engage. If I... Are you kidding me? Did they just really... Well, that worked before. Darn it. It's the fun and joy of not hitting the right button when you need to. It can really mess up your rhythm.
of the Blackbeard.
I'm still getting down the combination of when you can do what and when and all that good stuff. And that was it. I know there's resources in here. Ooh, that was close. But I got what I needed, so now I can skedaddle out of here. Whoa. The chase is on. Hey, I need these.
You don't cross Blackbeard's men. Fire at will. Fire at will.
Crying out loud, dude. You gotta be kidding me. This is why I don't get creative sometimes. All right, we're gonna go back, get that, and then zap back over with the potion, and then kind of reset. That's why I should have just not bothered with it. Okay. I mean, thankfully, when it comes to making foods and recipes and potions and everything, I got enough resources where you can just keep making as much as you want for what you need to do, and that never becomes sort of like a side burden or even a side grind or anything. It's just okay. We can just get what we need done, and that's it. Come on, man. Keep forgetting to watch my stamina. Okay, so we grab, let's check out the cure. What do we get? What do we get? We got new decorations, iron utensils. Learning this plan unlocks rough iron utensils, a frying pan, a bowl, and a teapot. Sturdy and modest household items. Cool, I can dig it. All right, this one notes. A few days back, Richard's men showed up demanding the artifact. And this is the guy that was the first boss that you had to kind of deal with. The captain flew into a rage, drew his saber, and cut down 3 on the spot, then shot another. We dropped 3 more ourselves. The survivors were hanged by hands personally. They shouldn't have come. Fools to the bone, just like their El Capitan. Right on. And I think what journal entry is that? Is that the first one for... Yeah. Oh, okay. Ah, that one. Mm. All right, so we got marksman gloves. Let's see here. So let's see. Sprinting, jumping, and dash consume 30% less stamina. Increased range damage by 15%. Oh yeah, the marksman gear. If I was going to be using more rifle and running, but I get, so I already get the consuming less stamina from the talents, and then of course my attacks consume less stamina too. So the marksman uh, armor. Thought I had one other one. Marksman boots, and if I pop 2 of those in, that would be sprinting, jumping, and dash consume 30% less, which I think stacks with the other one. But now I'll just pop this in here. Okay. Yes. Well, let's drop off what we got. We got some free hide. That's always a good. That's always a cool thing. We don't really have to do a whole lot extra. You just run around and just pick some stuff up. I still need hardwood, which is what I'm trying to do for like the last, what, however long, hour and 42 minutes already? Good gracious, where does the time go? All right, let's drop the insignias. Really, the only thing when it comes to the higher NPCs is going to be like you get your rum bottles, you get your insignias, more peanuts now, which is part of recipe building, and of course you get extra powder. But since I can make powder, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about the ammo specifically because I can make plenty of that now. I mean, that part of it isn't like, I consider that like a separate grind or a separate, now I gotta have to do this. That's just already got enough to make that happen. And let's come over here. Drop this one in there. What do I got? Let's, oh yeah, the flax. Let's keep making that linen. Oh yeah, I didn't get any corn. And I still don't have any bark for the hardwood. Okay. Hmm. Okay, the aloe and the tusk, the horn, the ram horns were used for, I believe there's an alchemy. Is that an alchemy thing? Yeah. Drop off the seeds and the aloe. Drop off the powder. Check, see what I had. Yeah, I got plenty of reserve. Oh, let's top off. Let's top off. Even though I can make the iron stuff, I want to wait as I'm kind of building. I'm trying to like prioritizing where do I want to spend what resources to get things up and running. Like yesterday, I was getting these forged and getting some of the other craft stations built. Oh, I still got to build the amp. That's what I need to kind of really focus my attention to, is getting all of the craft stuff upgraded and built with what's available, so I can start kind of making all the other things that are necessary. And then I can focus my attention more towards building another ship. I'll tell you what, let's craft some. Let's do one more. Not that I ever really use the rifle that much. But all right. I thought about making this, but I think it's only like 4 extra slots, and I don't really want to burn all my tan leather for a bag that only gives me 4 extra slots, which, like this one's good as literally it gives you like 4 more down here, and that's it. I'm thinking I'll wait on that just for a little bit. I even had this thing. All right, we'll just hang on to this. You're probably thinking, dude, if you do that, then those 3 can go down in the lower pouch, and you got all your other ones. And I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I totally get it, and I totally agree with you. I'm driving. I'm driving with it. Still want more hardwood. One, two, three, four, 169. Okay. All right, so what were we actually able to accomplish here? Let's go back and get some more potion. Okay. All right. I think that was part of the, yeah, that was part of the current questline needle in a haystack thing that we're actually working on, ironically. Oh man, this dude. Tell you what. And I don't even know what other, I think those are seed packets too. What was this one again? Look for clues. Oh, that's right. The decorative books and scrolls. We gotta find the gunpowder crates. I think I know. Well, clearly it'll be marked, but I thought there was a Brethren of the Coast, Sacrificial Lamb. There we go. Yeah, that's right. So pretty much the bulk of still what we got to do is going to be concentrated in this area. So what was that? Oh yeah, that's where the wolves are. Where was that other hardwood area? You know what? I'd never walked around here to see if there was anything. Let's go check out the Brethren real quick, see if there's something on that island. What would be interesting is to find a location that has resources that isn't NPC heavy. And that way it's easy enough just to get there, get what I need, and bounce out. Or was this a spot that had what I needed? I can always check out here because that's got the other mine. Alright, let's check out the Brethren Coast real quick because I think this island you can walk around. I'm curious to see if it has any resources that are available. I mean, that I could use for this next phase, not just regular stuff, because I can get all that on my location. Never pass up the cayenne pepper. Okay, don't see anything that looks like hardwood. Oh, I'm still in the coastal jungle. Okay, never mind. All right, that explains that one. So the answer to that will be no. And I'm not worried about if there's a clay deposit or anything like that. I've got a bulk of what I need just in my starting area alone. And I'm gonna go check out that other area. Not this one. Where are you? And we'll do some more mining while we're at it. Is that sulfur? Stone. Actually, you know what? They get a pass today. Got plenty of bananas. You've got to be kidding me with that. All right, new SOP. We're just gonna break out the rifle. That is unbelievable, dude. Crafty little bugger. Oh wait, that's palm, not hardwood. Still here. Oh, I did build the brick one down there too. Oh, I forgot about that. All right, let's get to it. And that was an example of just a, oh yeah, I forgot about this guy tucked back here. It's not getting them. I like how they just nonchalantly get out of the way. That is interesting. Okay. Fun's over. Oh, as I was saying, they put up a bunch of the weak rock to kind of make it seem like that might have been it. So it's like, I don't want to waste my time going through there, but when you bust it out, oh, look what we got. Did I leave one in here? I did. Now, there was, and I forgot what channel it was, you can go to your settings, you can turn the graphic setting down, and it'll kind of illuminate inside the cave if you turn down or tone down the graphics or whatever. I want to leave everything up because I kind of want to enjoy what the resolution does. But that way, you don't have to use any of the lamps or torches or anything like that if you don't want to. I just like doing it just because it's fun. Oh, that's right. There's like a complete open area right here. And ba-bam. Well, yeah. See if we can find some hardwood. Still looking for that. It's amazing where the game takes you when you're wanting to do something. These other opportunities come up, which is still important. Now, what did I... Oh, that's right. I built the thing down there to kind of avoid those guys. So again, there's a whole other batch of this mine. There's, multiple sections, and I'm sure I'll get down to it. I just didn't... I kind of want to... What I like to do is kind of figure out where everything is first, and then from there start marking and kind of keeping track there, and then it's easier to go back later. Like mine is self-explanatory, right? You got the icon, it's there. Okay, there's nothing to really guess. But when it comes to tracking down the other resources, when you're in a particular area, that's where, depending on where everything spawns or where it's... Is this the lime? Oh my goodness. Forgot about that. Especially the hardwood, because I haven't really been able to find like a spot for that, because it's not one of the generalized resources, like when I need regular wood, okay, easy enough to get, track and copy that, right? Here we go, divvy divvy with a wolf. You can hear all my stuff clanking around in the bag. That's another cool thing I like about the game. These guys are pretty agile. Okay, what I'm going to do now is mark on the map boom, there we go. So now I know on this particular map location, I can come here and start harvesting some hardwood. Oh, and these trees, if they fall on you, will hurt you. I didn't found that out by accident. I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. What's going to happen? You know, clunk, lose a big chunk of health. I'm like, hey, I like the realism. Let's just stay out of the way of a falling log. Whoa, you actually started a chain reaction too, which I thought was pretty cool. Those clever game developers, they really, you know, think of the good stuff. Two hours in. Finally getting to the hardwood. Inventory is full. Where do I need to go? Okay, I don't need all of these rocks. Do not need that. At all. Don't need that. That's actually kind of debatable. I got plenty of cayenne pepper seeds. Okay. Timber. Even kind of falls like the way it bends and whatever. That's, you know, it's little things. It's the little bits of authenticity that make any game really awesome. And yes, I did see that wolf over there. Just dilly bopping like he's back on the block, man. Man, I'm chopping it up like I'm Paul Bunyan over here. Oh, I do have a new discovery because I got the lime. We'll see what I'm able to make with that. Let me check to see if anything is around here. What is that rustling? Oh, it's the butterfly. Ah, can you hear that? Okay, what do we got? Okay, for the grog, sweet lime juice for endurance and tomato juice. Oh, we got some V8 up in here. Oh, snap. That's legit. I like that. There's all those challenges. Oh, no kidding. Oh, no, it starts that. Okay. I was like, what are we doing? I get it already? That's impossible. All right. We're not on a union mandated break here. Let's get back to it. Yeah, you just stay over there, and I'll stay over here. Whoa. I'm going to get regular wood too, which I do not need at all, ever. Now I realize I'm going to have to find more than one deposit because I think I calculated what I need 120 just to make the timber for the upgraded ship, but I know I need this stuff for some of the other builds. So what we'll do with this batch is we'll take everything back. We'll start making a little bit more of the iron ore. And then we'll start we'll finish out some of the other crafting build-outs that I haven't done yet. Like I think I need an anvil. There's just some other stuff that I need. Oh, come on, dude. Oh, you know what I could do? No, I better not. I could build myself a... help me out. What's the word I'm looking for? A bit of a barricade, but I don't know if the trees falling down will destroy it or not, or if that messes up the physics of it. But there you go. I mean, if you just bring some stuff with you, you can easily build yourself a little barricade wall. I mean, it's neat that probably wasn't the intention of the game, but because of what the game allows you to do, you can just kind of, open up the imagination a little bit. I'll have to take this guy on eventually anyway. Might as well. Oh, cool. Oh, there's two of them. Oh, well, let's just go ahead and pretend we're all getting along here. Inventory is full. Actually, I don't need any of that anymore. How is it? Oh, yeah. Alright, so note to self, I know I can come to this particular island, get into the mine, knock that one out, get the hardwood, get back to my spot, offload everything, get back to the other island, get in that mine, knock that one out real quick, and then that takes care of at least from an ore standpoint, and then some of the hardwood, at least until I can mark another spot. A second. And I'll be able to make more of the, whatever that leather is that I need to make. And I think that'll about do it for today. Or at least this go around. Is he still chasing me? Oh, come on. That's bright. You know, the nice thing about when it goes to nighttime is I can put on my my clear pair and just kind of enjoy the resolution without the crazy brightness. And this thing isn't even that bright, but man, the light sensitivity just really gets to me. All right. The resolution is no joke. So, I mean, for a game like this, that isn't, you know, it's not like Cyberpunk 2040, whatever that is. Okay, now. Time to offload and get to smelting here. Might as well start up another couple batches of. And that's the other thing too, because you need. Oh, I already got stuff started. Forgot about that. Kind of planned ahead of time. There we go. So having enough wood, 3,231, means I can do a lot of things simultaneously without having to worry about a lot. I can create stuff. I can build stuff. I can basically have a lifetime supply of charcoal for doing stuff related to the ore. That's right. I think I can. Whoops. There we go. Fucking smart or not how to. And now I also have plenty of ash, so I can make. So if I want to do. Let's go drop off the hardwood. All right. We'll put the we'll put the bark in there. I can always make us another. Just make another storage spot. That's too easy to do. Too easy. Start making some more linen. All right, we got lime. That is so awesome. But they put that in the. I think that's about it for all the. Tell you what, we'll put the limes in here. And sell that. So the ingredients. Now at some point I'm going to get back out there on like a night shift and kind of rack up some of these because you do need plenty of these as things start to build more. I want to make sure I got plenty of everything ready to rock and roll. But it's easy enough to grab this stuff because during the night run you just go out. Again, I can just hit the entire coastline and rack up a whole fresh batch of this stuff. So for instance, a lot of that for the main healing potions, I need 2 of those per healing potion. All right. coming up with the alchemical base. Well, I've got, um, 797 clay. So I've got plenty of clay to go around, even if I was going to do a build out with some of the new recipes that are available. The tan and the bark, that's the big one, because this is the stuff I need to make that other leather. So this is what I need to kind of... I don't think the bark's used for anything else. I just want to make sure, and then I can use up that whole thing. Oh, but recipe-wise, so these feathers come from those light blue dodo birds, the azure ones. And they're pretty plentiful around even my base island. So I can just go around the island, do whatever I got to do, and get what I need. I want to be a little bit more cautious, because this does soak up the rum bottles. And you got to get on your ships and kind of do more extra stuff to guarantee to get one of those, even though I can do stuff with the NPCs. The majority of all that stuff you saw in that case was just doing all the ship-based stuff. The minor healing potions, easy enough to make. And then down here, all the different grog, which is for doing the ship stuff. Increases reload speed by 15% for 30 minutes. Increases damage by 15% for 30 minutes. And then increases damage resistance by 15% for 30 minutes, which is kind of neat. And then the elixirs. Yeah, I got a... So this is what I want to do, is make sure that I got all the new crafting stuff up and running. And if I can do any upgrades, make sure that they're available, so I can at least have the option of, making something like increases critical damage by 30% for 15 minutes just by making a quick elixir. So this one does increases damage by 8%. Precision, increase range damage by 13%. So you think about how you can kind of stack your elixirs, your armor upgrade, your weapon upgrade. You can really adjust things, especially if you're going for an area that's got a lot of NPCs, or if you're going for one of the other main bosses. You gotta really, again, you can customize your build out just of what's available. I think that was it for this one. What do I got? This stuff. All right, since I can sell this, we're going to put this guy up here with the other 3 of them. All right, swing around here. Okay. Crafting. Let's see what other stations we need to... Okay, I already did that one. Upgrade cooking for my cooking recipes. That's one thing I like, especially in Warcraft. I love cooking up all the different recipes, especially stuff you need for like doing raids and stuff. I need 2 ironware. Okay.
Smallest details matter most.
Thanks, Doc. Appreciate it as always. Now that opened up all, should open up all the new recipes. There we go, look at that. Nice. Sugar? Figures. So 2 endurance drinks, 1 tomato lime, and then the other lime with the sugar. And we got one of the blues. Oh yeah, I forgot I can start fishing now. And that's where, of course, the nuts come in handy. So we got, oh yeah, the burrito for mastery. I already had that one. Oh yeah, the banana muffin for precision. That's a neat little gem right there. Excuse me. And who doesn't like to go to Wawa to get a banana nut muffin? I mean, not me, of course, because I can't eat that stuff anymore, but it's okay. Alright. Alright, so cooking is upgraded now. Easy enough to do. I think that anvil, I gotta make that thing. And I need a anvil. Sheesh. Okay, so right now I can't. Oh, I can create a level 6 versus the upgrade. But anyway, 36, 24 pounder. So now I'm curious to know if I get a 24 pounder recipe, because I still want to get the other recipe, right? Because I got plenty of resources. I can make whatever I need to. Except the timber. That's right. I keep forgetting I got to do. I would automatically have to do an upgrade. At a minimum. All right, let's make sure we got everything. So I created oh, that's what I needed. That's right. That's the missing piece of the puzzle here. Keep forgetting I can just leave the thing in there. How many was that again? 3-to-1 ratio, okay. And I needed... I think 20? Yeah, so 13 more. Okay, easy enough to do. That will be done shortly here. And that's going to be for the armor. Okay, that's right. Armor and clothes. Let's see what we need for weapon upgrades. Okay. All right. 5, 4, and the master tools from the Buccaneer. That's easy enough to do. Got plenty of coinage to do that. And so we'll be able to, okay, so weapon upgrading will be easy. Okay, so that's easy enough to do. Let's check out armor, which will be the next thing. That's what that upgrade I need to do to get my next level station there. And that's going to require, okay, so tan leather is going to be the big push for that one. Linen fabric will be easy enough to fabricate. So 4, 3, 2, and 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 times however high I can go. I'm not even sure really. I think another 5 levels. So really the biggest thing I need right now is leather for doing, or I should say the tan leather for doing the armor upgrade. The mining is kind of, again, it kind of takes care of itself. I already put up another. Yeah, I already put that up. And I think that's it. Oh, I didn't do a allows you to craft and upgrade jewelry. I'll wait on that. But I got enough of the silver ignites and all that. Yeah, that's where I want to just. That's the one thing I don't want to make just to make, because I got plenty of everything else. I do want to make sure I can upgrade my armor. All right, personal weapons and ship fittings. Check. So what we'll do is we'll hold off on even getting the recipe for that for now. So what I'm going to be spending, really what I'm going to be spending the next couple days doing is just kind of messing around on some of the maps, grabbing up spots for like the hardwood, and that's going to be my main push right now. So I can do the tan leather, get the ore, just kind of build up a nice supply of that, upgrade armor and weapon at a minimum so I can at least get on the, I can get around the islands a little bit smoother with those pesky goats. All right, let's get a little bit more, let's get some chow. Where's that coconut? There it is. And the coconuts are actually easy enough to track down too. All you got to do when you're looking at your palm trees is just look up and see if there's something in there, and then you can just roll right up to it. Of course, you have to pay attention to what's actually up there. Of course, you want to play this game with me today, because usually there was like 2 or 3 right here, like every single time, except for today because I'm actually streaming and it's like, yep, this guy doesn't even know what's going on right now. Man, maybe I spoke too soon. There we go. My goodness, dude. This is the most bare I've seen it yet. Anyway, what I was going to say is that, yeah, you just hit your coastline, run around the palms, check what have coconuts, and you can just clear out the whole coastline. You're good to go. I like how the rays actually come through the way the light physics work in Unreal Engine, where you can actually see the rays coming through the trees. And usually when the horizon kicks up, especially the way it comes through the ship, that's pretty neat. All right, I want to go back. I still want to find a hardwood deposit on that other island. It would be neat if there were 2. Like, I can't imagine just one island having only one area, although I wouldn't put it past. That wouldn't strike me as completely out of the ordinary. Because because you just hit one place, just go right across, hit one area, good, hit another area. I know there's one here. I just don't know. I'm just going to go back. Tell you what, I'm going to stay down by the rock edge and then kind of work my way down and come back up around, even though I think there's an encampment right around that corner there too. And a wolf, a couple of them. And a goat. This is a fun, when you get to the ruins and you want to use the brick for blockade and all that stuff. It actually kind of comes in handy. I don't know if there's any, I don't know what's here, but let's take a little. Oh, that answered that question. Wow, they're already coming out. Well, at least I know there's hardwood stumps around the ruin area, so I can check that box. The only reason why I'm not going to mark it on the map specifically is because since it's right by the thing that I need to go to anyway, it's pretty self-explanatory. Alright, let's see how far down we can go to open up the area here. Forgot about the savage ones. Oh. A little bit of crab meat. And let's salvage this up. Really, I'm doing this for the nails. Since I'm here. Alright, we got 6 out of that bunch. That's not bad. Alright, let's hit the coastline. Let's see what we got. Give us some cayenne pepper. Yeah, no. I still have to remind myself I have a farm now. I can actually build that up. That'll be neat to do that. Just more home-based resources. Oh, look at what we need here. And we'll get some nails while we're at it. How dare you, sir? Oh, that's the swollen one. I don't feel like messing with him. They can spit out some kind of crazy whatever, like acidic stuff. I just don't feel like dealing with it. Okay, there was a clay deposit over here. Just kind of ran over it. I'll mark that one here, just because. And all right. Now the reason why I don't really mark like plants and all that stuff is pretty much easy enough to run into those. The clay, actually, the thing about the clay deposits, they're pretty much. Hang on, let me finish all this here. I don't really need more dodo eggs, but since I'm here. So getting back to the clay deposits, if you just literally stick to your coastline on any particular island, the clay deposits, what I've noticed is they're really up right where the beach meets the grass area. So, because like you noticed on like the one down here, if you kind of look at where everything is, it's literally right between the beach and the green line. You just follow around the coastline, you can just mark them. So if I wanted to go grab, let's say I wanted to spend like a quick 20 minutes of my day hitting up all the clay deposits and then dumping them into my chest. Well, I already know where they are, so I can just kind of once I did one, I did the both of them. I realized, okay, hit any island, go around the coastline, and then you're good to go. It just lets me know how many total are on one particular area, and easy enough to keep track of all that. I don't need more bananas, but I will take. Ooh, and tomorrow for Arc Raiders is the expedition, so I'm good. I'm all set too. So we're going to be doing the expedition tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow night's stream. And even though it's the third expedition for the game, it'll be my first one. And I was able to get actually I got the expedition done and ready to go just before Burning Crusade, or not Burning Crusade, the Midnight Expansion came out for Warcraft. So what I was actually able to do, it took me maybe about a week and a half because I'm really resource heavy. That's another reason why I like Arc Raiders is you can just really, I mean, it kind of is the game, but it's just fun to do. And so I was actually able to rack up everything, all 5 levels within about a week and a half, got set, and then I worked on one of the other side projects, and then I did some trials for a little bit just to see where I could get ranked up. And then after that, I just thought, okay, I can take a break, just wait on the next expedition to, which then was like 57 days or something. So this whole time I've just been kind of chilling out, kind of watching everybody else play. You got all the usual. You got some hardcore players that really got their fingers on the pulse of that game, and that's their jam. And what's her name just became an MBAR creative partner. Lucy is here. I would go check out her channel. When she does her hang on. Oh wait, these are the regular guys. When she does her streams, they are just incredibly entertaining. She brings a lot of just needed energy that you would want to see in a gaming channel. So I highly recommend, if anybody even watches this clip or sees this, because this will be one of my chapter markers where I'm just kind of giving a quick little shout out. Go check out her channel. She's really one of the primaries that I started watching myself when I started doing Arc Raiders. You got Stone Mountain, he's still doing his thing. You got Fixate, he's still doing his thing. And there are really no shortage of the Arc Raider people, but she definitely brings a certain kind of enthusiastic energy to the game without all the nonsense. So in other words, what she's not doing is screaming and yelling at her monitor the entire time, or just has a really junky attitude that a lot of gamers find, where it's just they're streaming, but it's just nonstop. Just I don't even know how to describe it. Anyway, and since she's British, she brings that British humor to the whole little to the thing, which is cool. All right, let's start working our way up. See what we got up here. I have to top off my foods here in a little bit. Ah, more wolves. Of course. Well, I'll take me some of these. Sulfur? Yep. Oh, it's a ruin. Okay. Let's see what's in there. Wolf, goat, wolf. Okay. That is all I needed to know, good sir. Man, I need a, come on, give me a hardwood deposit. Somebody, oh, lime. All right, note to self. I think I will mark this one just because. It seems like by the big tree is... So on the maps, wherever there's a big tree, there is a lime deposit. Because everything else is pretty robust, plentiful, bountiful. What the heck is that? Is that a fire cell? One, two, three, four. Got 4 tangos. All stations, I have control. Ready. Sorry, I thought I was doing an entry there for a second. My bad. Wrong game. Dude, where is the hardwood in this? On this... For crying out loud. How is my inventory? What did I get? Just a whole bunch of a lot of stuff. Right on. And some of you are thinking, see, those were those 4 extra pouches that come in handy. You know what? I'm agreeing with you. I'm 100% tracking exactly what you're insinuating. Can I get rid of anything? Yes, I don't need that. It's freaked me out for a second. Couldn't figure out what happened. There we go. Maybe there is no hardwood on this. What in the world? Are they shooting at me or one of the animals? Okay, I'm gonna swing around here. And who knows, maybe we can get away with doing one of these up here anyway. Since it's part of the quest line, might as well. Okay, I got plenty of everything to build out what I want to do. Just now saw that.
Hold still! Come here! Take aim! Lining up the shot!
Okay, different strategy plan.
On my mark! I'll tell ya! Take aim! Mark the
This is a good example of everybody kind of getting mixed in with each other. And while they're distracted with that,
On my mark!
and I forgot my inventory was full.
Take aim! Hold still! Take aim! On my mark! This is going to hurt!
Well, I got it. Speaking of, that means that there's going to be some hide lying around. Oh, that did not see you, good sir. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. If I can just crank up a bunch of extra hides, I'll take it, man. Whoops. There's only 2 left. Yeah.
You have no chance!
Oh, for crying out loud. Tree got right in my way, dude.
I will kill
My goodness, almost botched that whole thing up. Oh, a powder keg. Can actually shoot those and they'll mark and... Alright, what don't we need here? I feel like there's so many goodies lying around now. That's it? It was just the one? I thought there was 2 of them. Alright, if it's just... Oh no, it's... No, it was... I think there's like 2 per... Okay, I don't need these for right now. Get rid of that. Alright, veteran insignia. I'll take it. Let's see what the other one is. I don't think there was another one. All right. What do we get? Port flagpoles. Reinforced flagpoles, perfect for raising flags in settlement ports and fortified locations. All right on. I'll take it. More notes. Han sent the unsinkable out with his trusted. Oh, that's right. We got to go after the that unsinkable ship, and that's like 4 or 5 level something or others, if I remember. Yeah, board the unsinkable. Okay. Now I could upgrade my current ship to do that. That's actually very feasible, but this is where we're just gonna again focus on getting the upgraded ship, getting all that stuff, and then we're calling it a day. Hey, in the meantime, is there any hardwood around here? You can actually put the powder keg by the trees and it'll, whoa, blow them up. Well, now I know I can come to this encampment and get some hardwood. So I'm not going to specifically mark it because it already know by the campsite, okay, great, tracking. Let me do it anyway because I have a funny feeling I'm going to probably brain dump it a little bit. Or I'm going to be like, which campsite was that? And I'm going to forget and yada yada yada. There. Well, that was interesting. Keep running over there like something different's going to happen, but... Alright, let's get these, and I think that will do it for over in this area. I will say this: when you do find some divvy trees, man, it's pretty generous on the loadout. It's kind of like doing the mining, except that seems to go a lot faster. All right, what do we need to get rid of here? Don't need that. I think we got one more to go. Okay, don't need the regular wood. Alright, I think that will do it. Any stumps? No. These are, well, I guess the thinner ones are just regular wood anyway, so not worried about that. Alright, that was the lime, that was clay, hardwood's over here. There's got to be another area somewhere, but... Man, 3 hours. Ooh. Alright, so... Alright, first thing is first. We need to start offloading a lot of this stuff. Alright, let's do... I usually have like a method to my madness too. I just kind of go down the row and just get everything in, deposited. That's in the other stuff, so okay. Come over here. Nice. Alright, what do we got left? Yep, the insignia, okay. Bam. That'll deposit the nails. Sulfur. I know we're going to be using this up anyway, but just to get it in there, get it organized. Oh yeah, we can drop off the pikeman's boots. Now the cool thing is, if I didn't want to use any of that, I could come over to my disassembly table, come to the pikeman boots, and if I break this down, I'll get back 2 coppers plus linen and a hide. Not that I need that, so I'll probably hang on to it because I can always make another storage chest and then put more excess stuff in there. And that's what I'm really going to do as far as my build outs is going to be like a complete overhang. That's going to be like, this is the food area. This is the armor. This is just make it more extensive at a, again, the creativity of it. Now, let's go check on what we were working on before. Finished getting that other build out done. All right. And that was going to be for the armor and clothes. Now, it doesn't have to be right next to, it just has to be, you know, somewhere in the vicinity, and that's why eventually I'll do bigger and more efficient build outs just to kind of which one was that for again? I already forgot. Yeah, that was for the, okay. For upgrading the armor and everything else that I need to eventually do. Okay, so we're gonna need, really this one comes down to, that's gonna be the iron heavy. Okay, got plenty of hardwood to make that happen. This one is the, that's right, this is gonna require, bam, tan leather. That'll be really easy to do. Let's go grab some of those. All right, let's get more of that tanning stuff so when maybe I get back on tomorrow afternoon a little bit before, because tomorrow night's going to be the expedition for Arc Raider, just because looking forward to doing that. Forgot how many I said I'll need. So definitely make sure I'm collecting hides while I'm at it. So for clothing armor again, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times 4. I need so like another batch. I saw that cayenne pepper. coconut thing is kind of... Can't believe that. Oh, there's one. Good grief. Oh, well. All right, so the big push is really the leather for now. I got all the upgrades made. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. I think that was it as far as all my stationary upgrades. Got that one, that one, that one. Made the anvil. Don't think I made my region table. All right. Might as well just start racking them up. Kind of needed them in inventory. My, how quick it goes. That'll start me out with 20. Tell you what, I'm going to see what it really takes for me to upgrade at least one level for everything first before I start getting too crazy with it. Because you can see it does go fast when you need a lot of resources, but at the same time, I was already saving up enough, so doing a singular upgrade won't be that big of a deal. Oh, sweet potatoes. That's another thing I found is the hogs like to hang out by the sweet potatoes. So that was 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh yeah, that was 11 hides just in those two little cross sections right there. And also I got the flames marked so at night I can just follow flames right to the mine and get right to the entrance, and I don't have to sit there and try and guess where it is, and I just kind of do a straight beeline. And again, another nice thing about the clay is just I'm going to need a nice abundance of that. At least I was, and that's the nice thing about a resource-focused game is if you're just trying to burn through all the content, you're not even really playing the game. You're trying to do just enough to kind of keep up with the game instead of just, playing the game and enjoying it for what it is. And I just thought, okay, if I was struggling with that first boss a little bit, so I thought, all right, let me take a break from that. Let me focus more on just, getting to know the area, getting to know what's around everywhere, especially on my starting island. Because just from my starting point, going right up there is where you have the first batch of sows, and then you go come over here, and there's another batch, and then still got the mines, still got it's 3, 6, 8 clay deposits. I think there's like one way tucked over here, and I think each one gives you can get at least 50 or 60 out each one. So there's 1, 2, 3. There's at least 400 clay right there, which takes literally almost no time to clear one of these things. All right, so cleared that in just probably less than a minute. Oh, there's another little chunk right there. All right, so we got 64 out of that one. So 64 times, 8, clearing a nice little batch of clay for yourself, which is plenty to keep up with things that you might need for bottle making and all that. But that's how easy that is. And then you just run around your coastline, knock that out. I mean, it would take you're probably not even looking at 10 minutes worth of time, especially if you're just maybe hitting 3 deposit areas. Trying to rack up a few more skins. Figured that was going to happen, but
The body adapts eventually.
that's what happens when you get tired and it's like whatever, and what's going to happen because I can just run back down and get the thing, and then I'm good to go. Oh, and there's a couple sulfur deposits on here. That apparently is going to be a random spawn. That's why I didn't bother marking. I thought, okay, I'll take out one deposit. I'll see if where it spawns back in the same place or not. So that's why I thought, okay, that's just I know they do spawn on the island. Just I don't know where. Just if I run into one, great. I can just knock it down real quick, and then we're good to go. So that's just another resource I don't have to worry about going to a higher level or really a different area Mark these down for nails, but don't need those just yet. There we go. More down there. Oh, this over here. So this is my, I think one of the first starting points because you had to look at the chest. So I used my shovel because I was just testing out to see what would happen. I thought, I'll just, you know what I might be able to do is build myself a pool at my other area. So I jumped on in, and then I couldn't get out, so I ended up drowning. But what I have an idea for how I'm gonna build myself like a pool area with a stair. You can, actually get in and out like you're, coming if you're like coming up to a dock area. So that'll be fun to do. I'll figure out a way to put flames around it or something. I don't know, just something quirky to do. Because I haven't quite seen it yet. Everybody's been building like multi-duplex fortresses and all that stuff, but I haven't seen a pool area. So I'm going to see if I can somehow incorporate that into my build. Oh, you know what? It already... what was it? Is it another decoration? Yes. Oh, that's right. Frying pan, plate. That's what I'm talking about. I love me a good platter. It's a meat platter. I guess you could say it's some gabagool. Oh, I went there. Oh my goodness. There you go. So there's the in-game gabagool right there. It's the meat platter. Come on. There we go. So there we go. We hit 3 real quick, and that's 186. And we got some sweet potato. That's sulfur. Stone. Dodos get a pass tonight. Just because I got plenty of dodo meat and the eggs. Yeah, why not? So there we go, 244 clay for, and that wasn't even my primary reason for just kind of doing like a quick little 360 around the area here. It's actually just to rack up more hide. And look at that, we're already back to the beginning spot here. That's how quick you can just zip around. And again, everyone's starting area is a little bit different as far as what part of the map they put you on. But when you just think about just doing a quick run once around, it all adds up quick. And more resources for cooking, which wasn't. So there we go. So there's an idea of, so the objective, I just want to grab some more hides just to cut, because clearly I'm going to need a ton of those. And then we decided, go ahead, let's just go ahead and grab some clay that we can dump into my storage chest. And in the meantime, we got more stuff just to keep up with cooking for down the road, a couple more seeds. And so there's always a secondary and tertiary advantage to just going out and just doing little bits and pieces of stuff. 2, 4, 6, 8, about 1,000 clay, which, great, I'll need it, need every little bit of it. Definitely gonna have to whip up a new, another thing for ingredients here. In fact, do that right now. Start a new one. That's how all my nails got used up. Boom, look at that. Alright, don't need that for the rest of the night. That was just kind of a quick fluke to keep the night moving. Alright, now let's check the clothing thing one more time. Yeah, 3.5 hours in, so. Great. I need to, oh, that's right, I need to go buy more of these. But anyway. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And if I want to go up 4 levels, that's going to be 44. Alright. Well, I'll tell you what. Since I already know I can do the... I only got 2 weapon systems I have to... Just let me go ahead and grab what I need since I can fast travel everywhere. Let's get those leveled up. Alright, so I need to look at that again. Alright, so I need... Okay, thankfully all the same ones. 1-for-1 ratio. I need the Master Tools, Buccaneers. I need 4, 8, 12, 16. Buccaneers. Boom.
Hey, watch out for goat horns, buddy.
Provisions, there we go.
They have everything you need for a good hunt.
You know, it helps to have the silver with you. Yes, I am getting really tired. That was another thing that was just... This is where I didn't want to really stream, just kind of like, you know, getting in a ship and just exploring. I just pop my headphones in, listen to music while the thing just kind of... Because when you're, you know, when you're first getting used to everything and trying to put in your fast travel bells and all that, I mean, that's really the more time-consuming aspect of it. But at least, you know, getting things done along the way was the good part. I think 18 will do it. Thank you, good sir. Let's do some upgrading. Wrong one. I can make that. All right. Not enough resources because I grabbed all the wrong stuff. Oh, at least I grabbed the right one for this one. I forgot. I gotta go back to. Okay, who do I need to go grab here? Smithing flux at the smugglers. 3, 6, 9, 12. We'll do 16 just to be on the safe side because I know there's some other stuff, but. And I'll probably hit that one at another time.
Don't ask unnecessary questions, unless you know. These came from deep places. This doesn't belong in a museum.
The reason why I haven't bothered leveling up is because the other recipes I'm not really worried about right just yet, since I've just hit the next phase of the game, and now this is where the focus is going to be for the next few days, just resource gathering, and that's it, and just kind of figuring out different ways of isolating the mine shaft so I can just get in there and Do what I gotta do. Alright, let's see what happens here. Oh, it's a 1-for-1 on the hide too. Forgot about that. Okay. The world environmental ignite. Alright, well that takes care of that. Gotta go back and get more of those.
A clean shot built for the wilds, not parades.
I think what I'll do is go back and grab the recipe for the filler buster pants. And then I'll make a pair of those and just kind of upgrade that one so I can kind of get rid of the greens and break that down. So I need I'm going to need a full stack of that for the armor. You know what? Yeah, that'll be fine. That will be fine. Alright, so hopefully now I will be sort of I'll be matched up with everyone. Where do I want to put this? I could break down some of this stuff. I don't plan on doing anything with either the halberd or the... I don't think I get... Yeah, since they're not high enough of a level, so either way, alright. Alright, so when I do upgrade, I'm going to need more of the linen fabrics. Okay, that's easy enough to do. Besides, I need to start making a bunch of those anyway. That'll be one of those. Keep this thing constantly crafting out. Alright, that's easy enough. Make sure I've got plenty of coal. Yeah, I'll make a couple more batches of that. Which I already did. Alright, sweet. That'll be for tomorrow. Do a little extra mining. And that should cover it. So yeah, that's not bad. Well, almost 4 hours, but that was what I wanted to kind of focus more attention on was, you know, in the first 5 days for me, you know, what was I able to do? Because you know, I'm not the tier level player, casual player, just kind of dove into the game just to kind of see um, what it was all about. But really, this is a fun game, especially since I haven't even really opened up the potential for how I want to do a build out and get everything kind of organized and separated and make room for the merchants. And not that I really need those, but it would be cool to have just to kind of complete the ensemble setup. So much room for activities. That's where I got to start making that timber at some point too. At least I know I got enough of everything. Yeah, still really want. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that because I'm gonna do the 24-pound guns. I forgot what those things, what they hit for. Oh, it's 2,000. That's right. Should have known that. And then instead of creating this, I'll go back, get the kind of figure out what 24-pound recipe I want to grab. And then the hull bracing I want to grab. That's why I got to grab it off the ship first, and then I can upgrade it. But all right, so that's going to require timber and nails. That's easy enough to do. That will be ore, tan leather, and fabric. So after I upgrade all my armor, then the next thing to focus attention on is actually not upgrading yet, but still getting what I need for building the ship out. But you can see I can easily grab up like a quick stack. I can just start here with the sail, work my way eastward, and then hook back up and around, and easily get a stack of the tough hide. And that doesn't even include going to the foothills. Now it'll be matched up. You're able to take down the goats and the wolves just a little bit easier. You get about 2 hides per one of those NPCs. So keeping up with that will be easy enough to do, and I don't look at that as a separate grind because I'm still going up there for mining. I'm still going up there for the hardwood. And then of course I'll be going after the ships here. I want to finish out kind of exploring this area, unlocking. I think that's a mine too. So another avenue of, okay, I got a mine there. And again, it'll be easier to navigate once because you're looking at what everybody's like a level 7, level 8. And since I'm upgrading everything up to level 10, it's like, great, let's max everything out. Then we can kind of hit the area. It'll be a little bit easier to navigate and negotiate the engagements. And then get those resources built up. I'm going to spend more time now because of all the stacks of stuff I have. I'm going to do more, like a better build out, get the farm going. It's pretty neat how the illumination stuff works with the nighttime, whatever. Sorry, I'm just really tired. Didn't think I was going to go almost 4 hours tonight with this, but this is fun. We didn't even jump on the ship and do anything either. There's really no need to at this point, but this one had the ships in a bottle. That was pretty neat. Oh, there's another delicious meal set. Don't know if it's the same one I had, but those meal sets that I have that I can build out came from a recipe where I found that it was one of the quest stuff. Oh, there we go. Miniatures in a bottle. Decorative books and scrolls. That'll be neat. That's how I got my so my house area in Warcraft. I got like a study room, like a mini study room for now, because I got more decor. I need to build a bigger one. But it's like, you know, my night elf rogue is an academic, so he's constantly learning about everything that's going on in Azeroth. How much do I have before I get another? Okay, almost halfway there to 9. That's not bad. Yeah, boy. All right, we're gonna call it a night, or at least I'll probably do some more stuff, but just for the stream purposes and everything. So yeah, this has been a fun night, and this is definitely a fun game. Yeah, this is one of the ones I'm going to be kind of continuing on definitely on my off time, and where I kind of fit that in with streaming. But so tonight, basically, just cover. Look, this is my first 5 days in the game. Not really trying to, and my focus was just being resource efficient, right? So probably the first 3 some odd days was just kind of focusing on exploration with the ship, kind of getting used to the maneuvering, the engagements, and then doing the exploration on land and figuring out kind of where all the resources are that I might need on a regular basis. And then kind of figuring out a nice little pattern for myself. So now if I need to go get stuff, kind of like what we were doing tonight, I already knew about where I needed things, and we just kind of figured some more stuff out. Got to see how I do a build for building fighting positions and whatnot. So on this next phase of everything, again, it's not so much trying to crank it all the way out to get to the final boss. It's now I want to spend time upgrading everything, getting the new ship, upgrading the new ship, and just having fun doing that, and then getting a bigger ship out there because you know, taking on the bigger boats means getting better rewards and stuff. So build up the bank for the other recipes, because eventually I do want to get the other recipes that are available to do some of the more extensive build outs that you can do in game, which would be really nice. So tomorrow is going to be the new expedition for Arc Raider. Kind of waiting the last month and change for that. So that'll be neat, just to kind of experience the cinematic that they do and just kind of revamp into it, because I know that the maps, they've been doing some changes, adding some stuff to the maps, which is good, just kind of keep everybody on their toes, and it'll be a chance to kind of get back in there and just do some raiding on the surface. So anyway, I appreciate everyone's time and attention, and remember, my fellow gamers, play with a purpose, soak up that bandwidth, and I wish you all the greatest success in all of your gaming endeavors. And I will see you online.